And even if you were to have like a prompt of 10 different things, right? Like say if you had one prompt of like, oh, like here's 10 different personality traits, here's 10 different superpowers, here's 10 different drawbacks.
I like coming up with random list of powers and then just see what I come up with.
Imagine rolling just those things every single time. It's always going to vary. The possibility of that happening is again like a 1 in 10 chance, but it's like it shows that there's an infinite possibility.
Always something else cool right around the corner that we can come up with, because there's no end to the prompts. There's no end to what we can roll up.
We're going to be officially rolling for superpowers. This is usually the make or break.
Roll for hero.
Heyo, and hello everyone, and welcome to Roll for Hero. It is me, your ever weird and ever loving Uncle E. With me today is, of course, my big bearded, bald-headed, beautiful co-star. You know him, you love him, claimed to be the world's sexiest man, 1993, Mr. Fish.
What is up, everybody? Glad to be here. Glad to see everybody in the comments this morning. Sorry you're feeling poorly today, Dadpool, but I'm glad you're here nonetheless.
Guys, I am super excited. This is going to be another wondrous, whacked out, wonderful Wednesday. You know how it is. Sorry, I'm kind of a little bit off my game here because I finally have, my head. I finally got my headphones that I've meant to bring with me, so then that way I could wear it with this because I love the audio quality, and I know that if we ever had to do like a season 3 renewal of the Roll for Hero intro, I would at least want to get a better audio clip out of that. But I was trying to find the freaking adapter, but it's whatever. Anyways, I am super excited for today because this episode we're going to be rolling for villains, and I can't wait to see what kind of character designs we're going to be rolling up, going to be drawing out and whatnot. Hello, everyone in the chat. How y'all doing today? I am super excited for this overall episode. But before we dive into the idea of taking dice and rolling them and then having to contemplate our existence as to whether or not we should make this an actual franchise, Mr. Fish, I think it is a wondrous time that I think we should dedicate, to showing off the amazing art that everyone here in this community has actually created thus far on this journey. That's just my opinion.
I think we should, because we got a bunch of stuff in this week. We've got a bunch of images here from Cyber Comics that he uploaded 6 days ago. We've got this awesome suit of armor here with all the crystals and stuff on it. Super cool. This dude here, this gives me like very Beast Wars vibe.
Oh, I can see that.
Leopard robot. I'm freaking digging it. It's awesome. This guy is really cool. Got a real lava vibe going on. You know what he looks like? He looks like he would be out of the Inhumanoids. It's a toy series from way back in the day. They had these big giant monsters, and the guys were all underground and had these suits of armor that would let them dig through the ground or mix acids to burn tunnels. This looks like a dude that goes diving in lava to me. That's what he looks like. Looks like somebody that would do that. And this beefy boy, man.
Okay, no, that right there. I mean, I remember watching a whole dude reviewing a bunch of old commercials and whatnot, and he did touch on the Inhumanoids. So I kind of saw what they looked like. I even maybe looked at a comic here and there on what they were all about. That looks like it could be an Inhumanoid, ready to go off rip. Now
That looks like a bad guy that's mutated in his armor and gone all evil. This one here with the trees and the vines.
Oh, that
awesome stuff.
But then taking that to a more intensive nature direction, I am totally a professional knowing what I'm doing over here.
And then let's see, Ben Art has posted up a bunch of stuff since the last time we checked in. I mean, so many characters popping up. This robot rabbit dude came out so cool, man. I love the color choices. I mean, it kind of feels almost I don't know, shoe aesthetic, with the bright colors and stuff that they'll put in Nikes and stuff is the kind of vibe I get from a very corporate kind of hey, look at this design. I dig it. And another robot bear. I love the satellite dishes for ears. Is so good. Yeah, Ben's been cooking, man. and just throwing out design after design after design. And I
Like,
was looking back
only
at when these were posted, and it's like, oh yeah, posted 2 days ago, 3 days ago, 2 days ago. Just I don't knock out this many drawings, dude. Somebody needs to calm down. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, listen, he has a fiery passion. I also don't know how the audio quality just sounded. I just now found the adapter.
It sounds okay.
Yeah,
This
no, honestly,
rainbow.
that is really awesome. Like out of everyone in this entire community thus far, we better be calling Ben a chef because that's exactly what he's been doing. He's been cooking. Just
Oh man.
stop.
I'm
Like,
saying, and the details and these tentacles, and then the bionic grippers on the end of it, so cool,
oh
such
yeah.
cool stuff.
And again, I
And
love the
let's
fact that like just a lot. Just imagine he's creating his very own superhero universe in front of our very eyes as we're developing, this entire science fiction world. Exactly, doggone comics, absolute cinema.
I don't know if we showed this one before from Dadpool, this Finn
This is actually
character
new to
that
me,
he
so I'm
did
actually a little shocked by this one.
working on alien shark hybrid on one of them. This is another one of his characters,
Ooh.
Sunseeker, that I found, which may not have been under the Roll for Hero, but it came up when I was searching.
This one I did see. I couldn't tell if that was Roll for Hero either, but I believe this is Deadpool's, or am I just going crazy?
It's a team that he was working on that's got a mix of characters inspired by like Pixar characters and
Yep.
The Avengers combined together. And Slider Spider, I dig that.
That's actually okay. Slider Spider's a really cool one.
Yeah.
Or call it like Splider, but I don't know. That's just my opinion. Nobody asked for. So,
So I think that is all that I found so far today. But we want to talk about our characters too that we designed.
Cecily showed off the amazing art that everyone has been producing so far. And again, if you want to partake and roll along with us, draw a character, make sure to utilize the hashtag Roll4Hero. That's going to be the hashtag ROLL, the number 4, and HERO. Use that hashtag, post it on any form of social media, so that way we can snag them up and show them off. So that way we can give the amazing credit to every artist who has been joining us on this journey thus far. So
and it's actually working now, which is awesome. There's enough posts with Roll for Hero that I can actually find them in searches now, and that's cool. It still throws in some extra stuff, but it's cool that it's showing up, and that's largely due to Dadpool and Ben.
Guys have been carrying this entire fandom alive. Listen, guys, we can't let them be the only ones here. I love the fact that they're cooking, but we need more chefs in the kitchen here, okay?
They put out more posts with the hashtag than I do.
Yeah, oh, for sure. Anyways, but since we showed off the amazing artworks that y'all created, now we're going to show off what we ended up doing. Now, Mr. Fish actually had more of a True Blue kind of vibe because he drew this on stream proper. This is what I first did on stream, and this was not a vibe. I tried my best. So basically, Mr. Fish and I basically drew, like, we rolled up our own our own stats over here. So for me, I did an android wasp kind of a character with 2 minor powers, 1 major powers, and then there's a caveat. So the powers were jumping, and then on top of that was also ice creation, or involving something with ice. And not only that, but the major power was, hold on a second, let me actually. Yeah, so it was illumination. So he would glow in the dark or have like some light up feature, and he would jump. Those are the minor powers. The major powers is that he has like ice powers. So he can create like ice crystals and all that other kind of stuff. And this was my first attempt, and this was not my best attempt. So yeah, it was not really a thing that I wanted to deal with. So I kind of decided to go a bit of a different route and show off, the more toyetic features. Kind of like how Mr. Fish over here kind of created his awesome hybrid of a shark.
I would buy that one. That is cool looking. And like,
no, but it's like, this is a cool robot toy, but like yours is the kind of toy that, like, come on, it's like a warrior shark.
Yeah, mine is definitely fits more in the world of He-Man, probably, with the looks of it. But like, I was having such a hard time getting a design down, and I kept going a little more Jeff the Land Shark, like rabbit shark hybrid, and I was trying to figure out how to turn that round wasp butt with a stinger into like his abdomen without making him look like a bumblebee, and I just couldn't hit it all the notes at one time. And I was like, this would be a lot easier if I just went beefy, like He-Man style, like muscular character. And so I did, and I ended up with this guy. So I threw the breastplate on him just as an homage to where I got his shape from.
I mean, not only that, but also I can imagine seeing like a really cool cover. And at some point, I would love to draw a cover of Blizzard Wasp, is what this character was called, but it's spelled with like a bunch of letters and all that other kind of stuff. He-Man Street Shark. Oh, heck yeah.
By way of Mutant Turtles with the mutated like rabbit and wasp.
Honestly,
DNA
I wouldn't be
added in
surprised
there.
if this would have been a Ninja Turtle villain. But so basically one day I'm gonna draw like an entire cover. Maybe when I do like I think for me, when I do Roll for Hero recaps, I'm probably gonna make it like when this season's done and over with, so that way I can like encapsulate every art piece that we've done thus far on the show. But if I was ever to do it, like I want, this character, your character right over here, because these are like allies or other heroes that are in this like Jupiter Jack sci-fi saga like universe and whatnot. So I would love to see like a cool action poster of all of them kind of like either flying out, fighting off, the
See, Buzzbite ain't bad, Jordan. I was thinking Waspbite originally, but I kind of like that too. But yeah, I love your design because, like you said, it's very toyetic, and I see either like it being lit up from the inside and all those ice crystals and wings glowing, or like the Inhumanoids did. The one really cool thing they did was they had these little like patches on the top of their helmet where sunlight would come in and it would refract out and make like their eyes glow. Like if you could get that, like be one piece of plastic all the way through that would glow when the light hit it. Oh, dude, that would be so cool.
Oh my gosh, that would be stellar. So, I mean, and again, I had to really break out of this, and I wanted to see how I can try to make it work as if it was a 1980s toy kind of a thing. Because again, I try to think super futuristically when I thought of like Android. Hence why I went with the more sleek design when I first did that, and it was just not working in my favor because I'm like, how am I gonna try? But this time, you give me a bit more time and effort, I at least managed this one. Actually, I drew that this morning just because I realized I didn't have anything. I'm like, I need to get this design done. But I'm also in the process of drawing out all of these, all the pages for the Grub, and now I'm trying to get onto issue 2. So working on comics.
Somebody's bit off a lot of work there. I'm proud of you though. Keep grinding. Benjamin is right though. I did make a major change in the color of my dude. I had gone with more shark colors originally, and had his breastplate gold. And somebody had mentioned last week that I probably needed to incorporate more gold, like, more armor or something into it, which I was thinking about doing. But as I came back in the office to do something else and I was looking at it over my shoulder, I was scanning stuff the other day. I was looking over my shoulder and I was like, it's very sharkish with his head and the coloring. I was like, what if we went more wasp with it? And I like the way it came out. I think it kind of ties things together. The rabbit kind of gets lost a little bit. Like I tried to go rabbit earish with the wings, but I also did 4 because of the wasp. And he's got the big back legs, but that could just as easily be beefy bug guy. Like I tried to go big paws and big honking back legs like a rabbit, but
and it's more like if you look at it the right direction, you'll see it kind of a thing. Because like if you look at it close enough, you're like, okay, the wings do look like bunny ears. The legs look like
if you
bunny
really
legs.
zoom in, he's got rabbit teeth instead of shark teeth. Because honestly, rodent teeth scare the hell out of me. They are like razor blades on the end of pliers. They will go through just about anything and go right through your skin. I know from experience. So the thought of like a mouthful of those little razor blade flat chisel teeth scare the crap out of me. So that's what I gave him. But if you've been bitten by rodents,
And I can't wait to draw like a Jupiter Jack and a Meteor Mandy teaming up with both of these characters as they're beating up the Dark Matter Coalition army and whatnot. But also, speaking of the Dark Matter Coalition, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the idea that we created like a whole universal like bad guy team. I think with the villains that we made before, you with Lord Dominus, and then with my, blind minion, so to say, that right there is like good cannon fodder. But I feel like we need to design other villains. It's
Oh
always
yeah, like I mean,
army.
we've got a good big bad, we've got great henchmen to go with him, but you need other bad guys out there. Like you need a villain of the week from time to time. You need, other villains. You need the big dogs that the bad guy sends out. Like in He-Man, you've got your Beast Man and Merman and all these guys that he'll send out that, are cool dangerous foes on their own, and we need a little bit of that. We need some other bad guys to send out. So with
So that's
that,
what we're going to be doing in today's episode. So everyone, grab a writing utensil, a surface to draw on, as well as some dice, preferably 2d6 or more. And I think it's about time we did what this show's all about. Am I right, Mr. Fish?
alrighty, Roll for Hero Season 2.
Roll for hero. So now, as I totally just bring up an entirely new canvas here. All right, everybody, if you would love to join along, please do grab some dice, grab a writing utensil, and let's have at it. So we will be rolling for the species, the race. What is it that we're going to be drawing? Are we going to be drawing a superhuman, an alien, an android, an elemental being, a human alien hybrid, or a robot? Time to roll 1d6. And the dice have dictated that I am drawing a robot.
Man, I am too. God, what do you know about that? All right.
So wait, you rolled an alien, I did a robot, or are we both doing robots here?
No, I got robot too. We both
would
rolled
you
things.
look at that?
That's a good way to roll up random things, is to get the same thing.
Exactly. It's all about the integrity of the show.
Ben got an android. I like Doggone Comics' idea about a poster with all the Roll for Hero rules. I'm working on a ashcan book that I can take to cons to give out to kids and stuff, that will have a whole list of things to roll for and templates to draw on and stuff. So keep your eyes out. That should be available pretty soon. I'm actually taking it to Matthew's con, who is down in the comments lower. We're going to Matthew Rodrigo's con. And you're going with me. We're going to do a live Roll for Hero there at Tulip City Con.
Tulip City Comic Con. We're going to do Roll for Hero live.
If anybody needs the element table, here it is. I didn't get an elemental character, but there it is to roll. Doggone got an elemental being, so now you can roll and see if it's a fire monster or an ice creature or a water being or rock or crystal or a living being of radiation. I've actually got a water character that I really want to use somewhere. I used him in my role-playing game full of superheroes, and he was a scientist from another dimension that developed elemental travel or dimensional travel. And he came to our world because there was so much water. He thought it was full of life like him. And then he got stuck here and realized he's the only water being. He just went into a world that was just essentially full of dead people because nothing was alive. And he didn't know how to communicate with anybody.
Doggone Comics actually just meant to actually state like a Roll for Hero poster of all the characters that we've drawn thus far. But then, of course, it's like that. But the book idea is just as great.
Oh, yeah. We need to do a poster, too.
I do have a poster of all the characters I did for season 1 of Roll for Hero. And I can't wait for when I do all of season 2. I am going to roll an extra character for the fact that I did miss one episode. So that way, at least I can kind of compensate for that. But that is just a me thing. Anyways, Doggone said, I got radiation. Would you look at that?
Awesome.
An alien look. Now, we don't have to do this because obviously we have robot characters, but they could be fun, inspirational
It could be
ideas.
I'm going to see what I get.
And again, we can always chuck out the idea or we can keep it and see if we can work along with it. But usually I've always realized that even if we had done this, we always try to stick with the fact that we rolled it so we don't let that roll go to waste. I always love that about this. All right, let me see what we got here. We got 1d6. Got numero trace. Combine 3 random animals.
See,
All right.
no, but that's the thing. If your robot was designed by an alien from another species, it would probably be designed to look like them. And if they were combined out of 3 different random animal species, then they would probably come out, very interesting looking. Or maybe it was designed to appeal to those aliens. Here's a roll of random animals. If anybody's got alien or anything that they need to roll up
Well, I know
random animals for, a 3d6 will get you either an armadillo, a bear, a big cat, a fish. I dropped my dice. A rabbit, a snake, a spider, a lizard, a shark, a buffalo, any kind, water, or any kind of buffalo, wasps, boar, weasel, crab, beetle.
Watch how I end up getting the same 3 animals as we did for your character. You know how crazy that would be? I bet you any money there's at least going to be something. Oh, I think you ended up going a bit further there.
Oh, do we go too far?
There we go. Hold on a second.
Oh, yeah, you need it.
Yeah, I needed it just because I have.
I got invertebrate when I rolled for my robot, which is going to be really interesting. Coming up with an invertebrate
2,
robot.
3, and a 6. 2 is. Oh wait, I take it back because 2 is not on there, so I got to re-roll.
Yeah,
I do have 3 and a 6 though. All right, and we got. That's all right. Hold on, that I'm gonna say that's a 3 because it was mostly on the 3 side. Actually, no, I'm gonna have to re-roll anyways. Come on, dice. Okay, can we not roll 2s, please? Okay, it's 3 and 6, and 3 is an armadillo. Great.
an armadillo fish.
And then 6 is a fish, of course. It can't be a roll for hero episode unless we incorporate some aquatic life in any of our alien designs. Okay, 5, which is a big cat.
It's an armadillo tigerfish.
Okay,
They're prevalent down here in Arkansas, I tell you.
All right, and then so I already got my 3 animals, and golly, am I regretting it?
Well, I got an android that looks with the looks of a boar, spider, and a wasp, says Benjamin. That's going to be epic when you get done. Dragon Gaming says he feels like he's making Fly 2 over here with his insectoid alien. And Doggone Comics says, sometimes I go back to the old screens and make new rolls. I don't blame you, Doggone. If I wasn't doing it live on camera, I might do sometimes.
I actually did draw, like, I could say that I already kind of drew an alien design already for, whatever, because I rolled up one time, and that was basically about it. Now, okay, so let's roll for the power system. 1d6 and see what we get. Oh, 1 minor power.
I got 1 minor and 1 major.
All righty.
And I got to be able to read my writing when I come back to look at this card later, which is my biggest problem.
Yeah, same here. Usually
All right.
I'm like,
Minor powers, 3d6. Will get you anything from pyrokinesis to speed. Change my skin color. That works good.
All right, now for me, well, okay, actually I should have just rolled 1 then. Because 4 was the only one that was not this thing, because I rolled 2 5s and a 4. And the dice fell. Gotta love that. I have telekinesis. I love that. Where are you at?
Benjamin got 1 minor and 2 major. Yeah, doggone. Post it when you're done. I'd love to see it. Oh, he's making his in Hero Forge. That's going to be
awesome. That's going to be awesome. To do a Hero Forge model of your character would actually be a lot of fun. I have yet to see one. Plus, if you have a 3D printer like I do, you could always have it 3D printed. Because trust me, we've been
man, you don't know how tempted I have been. I get so many ads since you got a 3D printer. I get so many ads for them. I was like, that is affordable. No, it's not, but it still looks good.
I mean, I even have a dice jail because
Well, you got to have a dice jail.
You have to have a dice jail. What happens when the dice doesn't decide to roll a 1 or not a 1, but a 20? Because I know how to get English.
All right,
Anyways,
let's get to the major power list here. I think everybody's had a chance to roll their. Whoops, went too far.
All right. So
where is the?
Okay, big cat.
What is going on here? All right.
The idea is, would this be a sleek design, or would it be would it be sleek or would it be bulky? Because that's usually, again, the bulky is usually where it tends to get different.
Where is it? I know it was here because we've used it before.
What?
Okay, there's major powers.
There
It just
we
wasn't
are.
showing up for some reason. All right, 3d6 for the major powers. Major powers. 11. Oh, that's 16. That's what that is. Intangibility.
Ooh, got a ghost one.
My. This robot's getting more interesting as the days go by. Tangibility powers. Doggone Comics got body armor and speed. Deadpool got minor shock and strength. All right. All right. And now let's roll up a quirk. 1d6. Come on, be good to me, dice. 2.
All right.
Major transformation. Okay, now my idea when I did major transformation was that using your powers would be a major transformation. Like Billy Batson into Shazam. Like that's what I was thinking. But I've only got so much room to put it on a card that's going to fit on Instagram. So, but like that's what I was thinking. Like Captain Planet, Shazam, that kind of thing, where it was like a major. You don't have your powers all the time unless you transform into Super Dude. Was my thought on that process.
So you ended up rolling time limit as well?
I didn't, but it is on there.
It is, and I did roll that one. So
you got time limit? Okay, cool.
So I'm assuming that the telekinesis is like a really powerful telekinesis to this robot, but again, for a short period of time.
Oh, dude, like if it has specific capacitors or something, or crystals that it charges for that ability, and you've only got the charge in there to use. So like you got to be careful how you use it, or you got to use it all at one time and hope you succeed. That's a really cool limitation. That's a cool idea. I got to write mine down before I forget it.
All right. So at least now I have all that written out. Now that we more or less got the general idea of what we wrote down here.
Dog Dragon Gaming said, got cosmic energy. What cosmic bug had a human mate?
I mean, maybe it was some cosmic insectoid-like entity that was trying to do some study and research, and they researched a titular human that was surviving on a desolate planet.
Some hot, sexy alien insectoid lady came and mated with old Dragon Gaming, and it was all good till a giant maggot came out of Dragon Gaming. Oh no! Oh, I rolled major transformation too, said Ben. Got a 6. That's interesting. Power is destroying them. I love that one.
Okay. So now,
destroying them.
We have a fish, a cat, and telekinesis. Now, fish can be interesting because we're not just categorized or not just, structured into sharks. I feel like we've used sharks a lot recently. Because
there has been a lot of sharks lately.
We have. I mean, your character was part shark. I had my shopkeep that had like the hammerhead shark kind of vibe going on over there with the lizard thing, So I feel like I got to try to divert away from sharks. That's too easy. Now, okay. Wait. Okay, I'm thinking. I think I'm thinking. Am I thinking? Maybe. and you guys please make a video of redrawing some of the community post drawings. That would be a fun one. I believe that is where Fish and I would definitely have to pick a few drawings, and then we'll go from there.
Oh yeah, I definitely want to do that.
I feel like in order for us to do that, we need to get more art and have more on our community tab, so that way we can diversify, because it's not necessarily as fair, because you got Dadpool, you got Ben, as well as I'm also assuming you there, as much as I'm trying to.
Yeah, he's the one that's posting on my community.
Yes,
it has like the colorful crystal guys that we were looking at
so
the beginning of the show.
See, y'all are like the top 3 dogs here on Roll for Hero. I feel like we need to get a bit more, so then that way it's a bit more of a fair shot. You know what I mean? Because it would be way too easy. And I love the idea of rolling to see which character we can redraw and whatnot. So I'm always down for that, for sure. An eel is a type of fish. You're not wrong on eel, but then also like thinking on the big cat thing. Because,
you could do a catfish into tiger or something.
I was actually just thinking tiger. So I was thinking like incorporating the idea of a tiger. I was thinking a pufferfish, weirdly enough, because I don't think those are ever used as often in like other forms of media, unless they're like a comedic type of character. I see that face. I see your. I think I missed this part of Roll for Hero.
Somebody had an idea.
I'm gonna say this now. It's those moments that really give me like I'm so glad I'm doing this every Wednesday. The freak outs, the aha moments, and then we get to freak out about it. And we're gonna try to talk about it, but then we end up sounding way too autistic for our own good. All right. So
I was looking over a list of invertebrates, trying to think of, because invertebrates is wide ranging, and so I was trying to think of like what type of invertebrate did I want to use to base this off of. And like we've done like squid stuff a lot, but it's an invertebrate robot, but it can change its skin color and intangibility, and needs like a major transformation in this process. And I was looking through different pictures of invertebrate creatures to try and see what I might pick from for inspiration. And then it hit me like intangibility and color changing and stuff. I'm going to go with like an alien bio-organic robot jellyfish. That's where I'm coming from in my brain now. And that got me real excited. So now I need to look up cool jellyfish.
Okay, because I weirdly enough, I'm trying to come up with I'm trying to now combine a pufferfish, a tiger, or some variation of like a feline, and then I forget that I have an armadillo. And I had like the ideas there where, here's part of the idea. Isn't the armadillo the one that like can roll up in a little thing, right? Okay.
Yeah, it's like a roly-poly rat, looks like.
Yeah, and then I was trying to figure out like how could I make that work? Maybe like a fun.
For the record, I know an armadillo is not a rodent. I'm just saying, like, fat little body, long pointed nose, long tail. Like, it generally has the shape rat-like, and it can roll up like a roly-poly with the armored shell. That's what I was going for. I don't actually think it's a rodent. Continue.
The idea was like maybe a fun little feature, like I guess you could say a natural feature because it's based off of other animals and whatnot. It's like maybe while the pufferfish like puffs up, it also like might be able to roll into the shape or something like that, so it becomes like a giant, almost like a mace or like a wrecking ball or something like that. So then but then I'm like, I don't know how to incorporate the tiger element to it. These are always so hard. Hold on a second. We got, hey, what's up, guys?
My first thought, mixing fish and armadillo.
Last time because my schedule was kind of messed up.
Oh, my first thought with fish and armadillo would be going gar, because they've got like thick plates already. You could work that into being the shell, and then you got the large mouth full of sharp teeth. But you throw that in with like tiger and sharp teeth, I think you're halfway there.
Hold on. I gotta look up a garfish. It's been a minute since I gone fishing.
And it's good to see you, Tommy. Glad you're here. Hadn't finished my crab robot, says Benjamin, character yet, but it's crazy. Jordan says, what if American Eagle was the leader of a superhero team that's like an American bird-themed Power Rangers? Jordan, don't toy with my
I mean,
heart.
I just saw this man draw he sent me a full-blown image of a Power Ranger. That, mind you, not anything from like Super Sentai or actual American Power Rangers.
Oh no, it's a new character for the con that I'm working
And
with.
he had
on,
the audacity
the 5-Star Comic
to
Con
show me this while I'm at my job suffering, and he goes, "Oh, hey, here's this." I'm like, give me the whole team right now. I need the blue, I need the yellow ranger, I need the pink ranger, we need the black and or green ranger, I need the evil one. How, and mind you, the design is so freaking awesome, and I'm annoyed on how well he drew that, because I wish I'd done that. I designed so many other ranger teams, and his suit design was freaking sorry, I need to.
And that I was telling my buddy here, I don't really do Power Rangers a lot. Like I was older when Power Rangers hit, and it was really aimed at a very young audience. So it was hard for me to get as invested as like people that were kids at the time. I was in college when it came out. But let me see if I can open it. But my buddy Tony, who is the guy that puts on the 5-Star Comic Cons and is co-host on the 5-Star feed that we do after this show. He's got a whole bunch of Power Rangers coming to the con in Dayton, Ohio. And so he wanted to do a Power Ranger character to go with that, to go with them in the advertising, to be like our mascot for the show, Power Ranger, to go with all the Power Ranger characters. So this is what I came up with for the 5-Star Ranger, and
I'm upset.
got
I'm
the
so
like
mad that
star
I
incorporated
wish I
into
designed
his
something like
jacket.
that, and
glove.
it ticks me off because I'm like, it's beautiful. I'm jealous. It's what I'm trying to say here. I am man enough to admit my jealousy.
And that I made several like variations, just trying to like play with the theme and see what we could come up with. And I like that suit. I think that with like the jacket over it would have been really cool. And I liked the idea of a sword, like the Star Blade, but ultimately, that's what Tony picked. So that's what we went with. And I think it came out pretty cool. For being as I don't normally play around in the Power Ranger world, but it was a lot of fun to work on. And I enjoy working on things that are outside of my normal field of like what's fun and what I do every day, because then I have to really look at it and figure out like, okay, what is it about these designs? Like, what's the unifying look? What makes it read as a Power Ranger design? What is it that everybody loves about these looks and stuff? What's gonna be exciting without being exactly something that was done already?
Okay, I was trying not this. I don't know how I'm feeling about it, but the idea was also to incorporate puffer fish like cheeks or something like that.
That's a good idea, Ben. I appreciate that. I actually have my own concept for a Jason Todd inspired character named Nighthawk, who's basically if Batman didn't do sidekicks and Jason wanted to protect Batman anyway, but with original characters. Okay, now see, that is a cool idea. Like, there's a whole lot of indie comics out there that are just like, here's my Batman, here's my Robin, and here's, my version of this one episode. But that's taking it in a whole new way. Like, if you really wanted to be a sidekick, but he's not going to let you, so you're going to do it anyway, and working alongside him and trying to protect him and never getting the recognition and, getting yelled at when you save his life and stuff, like that could. And just think if you're Batman and some kid keeps coming up and saving you and getting involved in stuff all the time, that just makes you look bad. Like, you're not the scariest dude out there if this teenager that's unaffiliated with you keeps saving your life. Like, that's just ripe for complicated stories. I love that idea. Good job, Tommy.
Love to see it,
God
Todd.
says just change the color and all the variations, and you have separate Power Ranger characters. He ain't wrong. He ain't wrong.
Okay. Trying to maybe go with that garfish idea that you mentioned. And then I was trying to do like a garfish at this one because I wanted to do pufferfish, but I didn't know how to really incorporate that since now I have to deal with a cat. Unless I do like the grumpy cat kind of a thing where it's more flat faced, and I could work with that. All right, maybe we can go from that potentially. Well, this is usually the hardest part, especially now that the show's on a much more intensive time limit here.
Now that we're down to like an hour and a half instead of 3 hours.
This is true. This is so true. I mean, again, the whole point is that we're supposed to try to make these things as quick as we can and just have a fun time. But then, yeah, you have the 5-star on that. So, all right. Okay, maybe just kind of get those some spikes. Okay. We got a thing going on here. Still not giving up on that. Oh, okay.
Where is fish? Says Rob. Me fish or the fish in his character?
Because I'm trying to think about the I was trying to go off that pufferfish look, but I like this weird chubby kind of a concept right now because it's like you don't see many like chubby villainous characters unless they're a comedic kind. So I was trying to go like off of a cat. I'm still doing the armadillo bit, with giving the armored headpiece and whatnot. And the fish part is, I guess, just the pufferfish. So I'm still trying to incorporate the spikes around his neck and whatnot. I have to get cover Bayou Fish for my Catman Beyond 2040 series. Do you like drawing cavemen?
Somebody over here hasn't heard of a little series called The Mighty Caw, the Cro-Magnon.
I think that's going to be it.
It's the big bird barbarian, and I can't get to it because it's boxes and boxes of junk away. But yes, I do like drawing big, beefy cavemen and whatnot. I mean, I didn't start out like, boy, I love drawing cavemen. But when I came up with the idea for the Mighty Caw, the Cro-Magnon, who is like a crow barbarian dude, my face is gone. Where did my face go?
I see you a lot. I see you totally fine. So it might be either something on his end or something else. But that is just probably a me thing.
I just saw it a second ago on here. Where is it? Let's see. Rod's watching on Facebook. I see my face on there now. Oh, but it did just jump too. So it's probably a glitch in the streaming somewhere between Restream and everywhere else. Think of a character as like Mr. Hyde, but the man turns into a deranged caveman. Oh, that's a cool idea.
Okay, I got something going on here now. Oh, I just thought of the coolest. Okay. He looks more like a hamster than an armadillo and a cat, but I'm gonna see how I can do that with the coloring and whatnot. But the way that I'm kind of seeing this character, I can see him like, okay, so I don't know what to name this guy. If you guys have a fun name for him, let me know in the comments or in the chat. Don't be afraid to shoot out ideas. Don't need the conversation right now, Mr. Phone. I'm drawing guys and weird aliens. Spam callers, I tell you. No morals here. Tommy says, my version of Batman from my concept would be based on owls as a motif, and she would basically be female Batman mixed with Kill Bill concept-wise. Like motherly Batman while being scary concept. Okay. And then if you didn't see this, thanks. That's okay. And then we are seeing a man in a military hat. Wait, am I saying that? We are seeing a man in a military hat, and it says how your haters look at your page instead of you, fish. Interesting. What's your thoughts on? Alrighty then.
Now I'm just sticking my finger to see how long the
All right.
delay is.
Rob asks, all right, that's not the one. Rodrigo asks, what is your thoughts on the Iron Lung, which is a movie that Markiplier written and directed and starred in the movie? Saw it. My fiance is a huge fan of Markiplier, so she was ecstatic for the film. Went as far as to even 3D printing the bucket. We actually went to go see it. I will say I'm not a horror guy. It was a very psychological thriller movie. A lot of fun. Personally, 9 out of 10. What would make it a 10 out of 10 is that they probably chop down the 2-hour time limit and make it like a solid 90-minute film or 100-minute film, and I would have been A-okay with that. But other than that, the movie's fantastic, and I think it's trying to be re-released. So, I mean, it's also really good. Like, genuinely, it is a fun film. But again, if you're into psychological horror and all into all that kind of stuff, have at it. But it's like, it's really interesting.
Wasn't your bag. Which is okay. Everything doesn't have to be for everybody. That's why there's different things.
Exactly. Okay, so I have this. Here's my concept for this armadillo cat pufferfish thing. The way that I'm thinking about it is that his powers would actually allow him to like kind of like Miss Marvel or the current like Miss Marvel, the Kamala Khan, I think it was. Sorry, I'm not well versed in that. But she has that embiggening ability where she like makes one part of herself like very, very large. So like she'll make her fist real huge. I can kind of see that with this armadillo dude, where it's like I feel like he used that pufferfish ability to enlarge himself and to create like a really huge arm, or like maybe to kick or to expand himself or whatnot. And I forget that this is a robot. Okay. I forgot this was a robot.
Doesn't mean it can't expand.
You're not wrong. And I forgot.
I mean, look at the Transformers. Megatron went from like 80 feet tall down to the size of a handgun. So like, things can happen. It's perfectly okay for it to not necessarily match up with the laws of physics sometimes.
Because if we apply too much physics, it's not going to be as fun. Unless, it's for comedic reasons, but that's different. All right, actually, let me see if I can find.
I will be right back.
Alrighty. Expand. Ooh, I like that, Rob. That's a good one. I like that. Hold on. You can have your own version of the Power Rangers. Call them Neo Knights from the Black Sabbath album. Not bad. I actually do happen to have my own like whole knockoff Ranger team. I call it the Ultra Rangers. I was originally going to call it the Ultra Squad, but that feels too superhero-ish. If I was to actually go at it and do a more like knockoff Power Rangers thing, I would have called it the Ultra Rangers. And I have like all the different titles for those made and everything. All right, trying to look at an armadillo here. And again, this is a robot, so I can really play with those features. I feel like maybe.
Rod says, call your character Expando.
Expando.
I kind of like that. That's a good name.
Initiating expansion. Initiating transformation. Okay.
Form of expandification. Shape of a plot hole.
should look up grumpy cat.
Okay, I kind of dig that. That's weird looking, but I dig it. So I'm gonna
Okay. Sorry about that. Or no, okay, that's a really fun one too. Expando or robust. How about the pufferfish? How about for the pufferfish? Why not have it at the end of the cat tail, making it into a tail flail? See, that's why we keep y'all around. That's why we keep y'all around.
I was gonna get rid of you, but no. Esteban said, "No, they had good ideas sometimes."
Oh yeah.
I thought he was crazy, but he was right.
Crazy. I was crazy once. They locked me in a room with rats. The rats made me crazy. Crazy. I was crazy before. They locked me in a rubber room with rats. And let me tell you, those rats, they made me crazy. Speaking of crazy. All right. Robust. Okay. I do like the idea of that cat element there. I don't know, because I had this whole thing going on with that, but I don't know. I like the idea of him like either expanding or something like that. Yes. Best that y'all can design your robot based on wild boar cyborg thingy from Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Uncle Fish, your character. Uncle Fish, call your character Splat. Okay, these are getting intricate indeed. Armadillo, fish, cat. Kind of love that. You know what? As much as it's not looking like what I'm thinking it's looking like, so maybe I gotta go back to the drawing board, which is what I've been on this entire time.
Where does one go after the drawing board? I don't guess I've ever left the drawing board in my real life. What is the next step of evolution after the drawing board?
These are the questions, people, that we need the answers to. Hello there, Eddie. How you doing?
That's Eddie Von B. What up, man? You never know who's going to stop by. Say hi. I am catching myself being like super nervous and cautious about how much I say things like, because going back and trying to edit down this stuff for clips to get double use out of this, to be able to make social media posts out of it and stuff. Like, God, do I ever say anything but like,
It was it's pattern recognition. Trust me, you broke that entire reality to me that one conversation. I'm like, dang it. I didn't realize I repeat things way too often. I just do because it's mentally comforting, I guess.
Oh, you don't think about how often you do it until like you go back and listen to it. And like that, that one sweet, friendly little Australian sounding dude that's always doing like videos about how to talk in public and be a better, more confident public speaker and all of these things. And one of the things he suggests is repeatedly is to record yourself, like visually record yourself saying whatever, talking for like 5 minutes. And then you play that one time with the screen down, just listening to the audio, no visual. Just listen to all the times that you pause, that you that you stutter, that you repeat yourself. Listen to all those things that way. Then watch it back with no sound and see how you engage with the camera. How lively are you? Are you just sitting there looking away? Are you sitting there reading a script the whole time? I catch myself really bad if I'm using a script. I can see how often I look away at it. So I usually try and freeform talking on camera, and then I end up using bad grammar. It ends up sounding weird, or I repeat myself. So after you've listened to it and then you've watched it with no sound, then you come back to it again later on and you watch the whole thing, trying to combine the things you learn from both avenues and see how does it look all together in one place. And it really helps you be more conscious about what you're doing. I was made very aware of how much I repeat myself, and now I'm always thinking about that. And I catch myself when I go into like the second or third time that I'm repeating it, like, shut up. Of course, by that point, I've already started talking and feel like I have to finish the phrase or whatever.
Okay. Got to where I need to be here. So I tried combining a catfish and a cat, so at least I can play off of that a little bit. And then I tried doing the armadillo bit as well. But then I just kind of went this weird right over here. Try this all over again. Eddie says, life cycle of comic, drawing board, printers, publishers, my books, my bookshelf till I decrease. Wait, let me try that again. Life cycle of a comic,
Bookshelf
drawing
till I'm
board,
deceased.
printers, publishers, my bookshelf till I'm deceased. Same.
I wish I could leave them on the bookshelf that long, man. I run out of room. Am I the only person that's constantly having to like go back and like edit their collection and move stuff from like in this room to that room to in storage to wherever it's going to be?
Maybe. I don't know. I really wouldn't know. Quite would we? Okay. There we go. Now we kind of got something over here. Then,
Because even just on Kickstarter books, I'm like, I think over 400 books I back now. I've got a whole need to read short box that's in the shed in the backyard because I have two in the other room that I need to read. What's up, Mr. Nope? Mr. Nope says, hey, Eddie. So we know he's a good dude.
okay, there we go. I think this is as good as I'm going to get for now. And then, okay, there we go. Then let's just add extra plating onto the legs, because why not? This is a cyborg, which I keep forgetting. Or not cyborg, but a robot. There we go. Okay, so at least... Okay. So the way that I'm thinking about it, so the pufferfish angle I still liked, but I'm gonna have to ditch that for actually doing a pretty cool concept here. I don't know what the droid names are for the ones in Star Wars, but there are these robots in particular that would like roll up and then like they would transform out of their little form and whatnot. They would create like a force field around them, so that way when they're...
Oh, yeah, those, they're battle droids, but there's a name for them.
So I was thinking to myself here, what if this little creature this robot that I'm drawing is kind of like the one and done type situation where like maybe this is exactly like...
Oh, yeah. So like that's what he's designed for. He comes out and does that one thing and is designed to be like expendable.
But in this case, he's actually a big bad. He's actually one of like the not an expendable minion. I would say in this case, this is like a robot that gained its own sentience, trying to wipe out its enemies or whatever that may be. And I can imagine Lord Dominus is like This is perfect. I could see this one working with my Dark Armada. And then like it would transform into like basically I guess it can go by another name like a fur ball or something like that. So then it would transform, into a little ball, roll around, and then eventually it would pop open and try to slash and attack, Blizzard Wasp or, whatever your character's name was.
Like a deadly gotcha ball.
Exactly.
Gotcha pond, whatever it is. Let's see.
That's actually.
Mr. Nope says, I do the same thing, Fish. I have a ghillie cabinet, I'm assuming file cabinet, in multiple random stacks of boxes that change how they're organized. I feel you. I know what you're talking about, but I've only ever seen them in the movies and in Lego Star Wars games. Yep. Well, they're all back issues after you buy them, Eddie. What if the armadillo catfish robot was a prototype war machine from a feline alien species? Hairball. Now there's a name.
I was actually thinking Hairball. I was thinking Furball, but Hairball I think is a pretty fun one. It's like, oh, come on. Hairball is probably a harmless. Oh, no. Jupiter.
Eddie Von B asks, I believe, Doggone Comics, you have a ghillie cabinet? Do you also have a DeHalslam cabinet and a Ryu cabinet, etc., etc.? He's got the whole collection of Street Fighter cabinets. You open it up, Azuki, and it pops a comic out at you.
And not only that, it's also telekinetic. So maybe we can probably play on that dome shape over here.
His name's Guile, isn't it? I still like saying ghillie because I think ghillie's funnier. And I like the idea of a ghillie suit. I built my own ghillie suit one time.
Okay.
That's a painful story for another
A
day.
bit of a robotic edge to it. Okay, and this is where we get to the quiet part. Now this is where we're like honing in our whole element here.
Oh, yeah. Focus intensifies.
Okay.
I'm loving my idea, but I'm not sure if it's going to read robot, being as it is a organic device, like a bioengineered organic robot is what I'm thinking, because I got invertebrate and that just got my imagination going, and like, oh man, if we're talking some alien invertebrate species, what would their robots look like?
The fact that I made this a robot is what's actually kind of annoying me, because I'm like, dang it, at that point I really should have just ditched the animal concept. But I was like, I didn't want to, and I forgot that I was drawing a robot.
It is your project. You can do what you want with it. It's for creativity, not for frustration.
It's true, but it's obviously also the challenge of ensuring that you stick to the prompts, Because what if somebody wanted to actually have this as their character for their weird sci-fi comic? And I wasn't able to pull through.
Yeah, well, everything would come crashing down. And it would all be your fault. But that's okay.
Man.
You just have to live with the shame. That's all.
Oh, man. Not the shame.
Oh,
Not
man.
the shame. Whoa.
Keep opening the Cammy cabinet, but she's never in there. LOL, says Mr. Nope.
All right. Hold on a second there.
Doggone Comics says, I hope the Hero Forge thing is get shown in the next video. Oh, that'd be awesome, man. Yeah. Tag it, hashtag roll for hero, and we should be able to find it. Dragon Gaming says, from a bug human hybrid, these bug beetle-like aliens are studying a planet with high concentration. Oh crap, it's going too fast. And cosmic energy, but the random human crash lands on it, becoming superhuman, but it's slowly killing them. Eddie Von B says, Mr. Fish, at first I thought you were drawing a certain woman citizen of Mars from Total Recall. Nope. Mr. Nope says, haha, I see it now. Tommy Drula says, it'd be cool if you made characters inspired by the Minecraft versus Animator series by Alan Decker or the Stickman tournaments. Gracious. Superhuman and one of the beetle aliens had some fun, and the guy is actually going to expire quicker, bringing forth this new child between the two species. Now, see, that is a really smart way to incorporate the powers killing them. See, Dragon Gaming's thinking, using the old noggin, getting creative with it. I love it. That's why that is my favorite thing about throwing in the weird quirks is it making you have to think and get out of your comfort zone and like, oh, well, crap, how do I incorporate that into what's already going on? And like Dragon Gaming just did, he incorporated it into the actual biology of the being. And that is brilliant. That is when it's beautiful to me. Like when it makes sense as a whole unit together, that alien hybrid just doesn't live as long. And so that's why their power is running out. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful application of the quirk, man. Love it.
Okay.
Probably says something about me that I really get that excited about a terrible quirk.
I mean, it's the storyteller in you because you can see the dramatic moment where.
Oh yeah, you can see the heartbreak and the pain, and I can see that Esteban just disappeared on me. Hopefully, he'll be back in a second. Ooh, my face is too big like that. There we go. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna have to go to the chats over here on the side so I can see what's going on because that's going too fast. Man, y'all be talking in the comments. Okay, just finished my radiation guy. His name is Radiant, otherwise known as Jack Chang. He's doused with radiation. How it moved again? At a military base, even though he was just the janitor. And then you got the powers. Well. And then Benjamin says, well, my android character, I'm using a regular pig, a wolf spider, maybe include Black Widow, and using a tarantula hawk. Also, that is crazy. Ooh. Doggone Comic says radiation, super speed, and ability to make body armor similar to tungsten. And we're back. Let's see. Tommy says I have my own ripoff concept, a Common Rider, but it would be named Armored Heroes, and each uses armor would have a special power or motif concept. Like someone would have the power of fire. Oh, that's a cool idea. I dig that. Also, I just dig the name Armored Heroes because it sounds like something that would be on like the knockoff Chinese like Avengers or something, like Armored Heroes across the top in like a Justice League font. And I love that. I think that's
it's those toys that they sell like third party style. And
yeah, it's got like Captain America, Shrek, and the Hulk and Superman with a Spider-Man symbol on his chest for some reason. Dragon Gaming says he leaves behind videos for his hybrid kid to guide them to be a hero or villain without him knowing he ended his own father's life by being born. Ooh, tragic. Just tragic. Tommy says, or someone else would have the angel motif for their armor. Oh, that'd be cool. Benjamin said, where'd Mr. Ego? And I said, Mr. Ego right there.
Sorry about that. I was trying to get onto this. Trying to go for that armored plating look over here.
Dragon Gaming says the hybrid kid is able to handle the power better and survive longer, but eventually, in the future, this hybrid will also become a fully cosmic being. Now, see, that's a really beautiful idea too. That like eventually the power is going to like burn through them, and they become energy in the cosmos, like they're not dead but evolved into one with the cosmos. Like that's a really cool idea in of itself. Like if you were constantly evolving into this higher cosmic energy state where you're just living energy, but the better you get at it, the more powerful you get, the more closer you get to that, the looser your grip is on this life and this reality, and the more you get pulled away and the harder it is, especially like if you transformed into a cosmic powered hero, like if your quirk was major transformation and you transformed into this cosmic hero and you got bigger and stronger and better every time and got better at using your powers and became more one with the cosmos, but it becomes harder and harder to go back to human form each time, and eventually you're just gonna be gone and be cosmic energy. Oh, that's beautifully painful. I love
That's
that
some
idea.
Shakespearean levels of torture there, man.
Out here giving me all the ideas. Doggone says, I'm going to try making some of the Roll for Hero characters in Hero Forge. Get at it, son. Show us what you want.
I would love to see how that would go down. Trust me, a part of me wanted to, because I can't. Here's something that I can do. I actually realized. I realized that I could actually go to Hero Forge. I can buy the STL file of the little model and whatnot, and I actually happen to have an app on my iPad called Nomad, which is like a sculpting program. Now, obviously, if you took the STL file and you chucked it in there, it's not really going to render properly unless you can find the settings for it. But if it was up to me, and if I could find a way to create the entirety of what we made thus far, first of all, I don't know why I would be drawing, in terms of creating comics. I would try to create all these action figure models and all these cool little like set pieces and whatnot. That would be awesome. But I am trying with 3D modeling, and that is not an easy thing. My freaking hat off to those who can, because that is some insanity right there that I don't think I can ever pull.
Oh, you can get it there. I have no question. If I could learn how to do it, you could absolutely pick it up. You got the skill set. You just need to learn where the tools are. That's the only real thing to it. Learn what tool does what in what folder, and you're going to be golden.
All right, now we go for the kicks and giggles. All right, let's do 9-1. Ooh, that's a good one. I'm gonna keep that one on standby though. All right, 2, 3.
I got nothing but faith in Mr. Reed.
7, 8, and I'm actually keep that one because that's pretty good. 9. Okay. Not vibing with the Shrek colors, but I do think that these could work. And then we go over to here. I like the purple and the tannish colors because I think these can work. And then maybe we can actually do like this as the outer layer. Okay. Kind of liking that.
Bibbidi boppity.
Boop.
There we go. Now let's see what we can do with. Come on, mouse, get on the right screen. Play nice, mouse. All our friends are watching.
Oh, the friends in internet land.
Welcome back, boys and girls of internet land.
Okay, I'm actually liking the colors. Okay, the colors are working. I'd be vibing with them colors. Okay, there we go. I could see this being like the crystal that would actually require.
Oh, I did that backwards. Let's see what it did. Nope.
Actually, we can just do that.
Computer's trying to tell me for some reason my scribbles didn't line up perfectly. I don't believe it. I think the computer's a liar. 3D modeling is such a deep rabbit hole. I'm slowly learning how to use all the tools. It is indeed. And there's a steep learning curve to it, which is why right now I pay people to do it because I'm 50 generations behind on 3D software. Eddie Von B says, would love to see a collage poster of all the drawings, like when George Perez made those iconic Avengers posters with every version of every Avenger on it. Love the collages. Man, I did a poster for a client that I will not be doing again anytime soon. Had like 127 characters, I think, on it. And they were all lined up like one of those Marvel posters that have all the Marvel characters in it. But instead of being clip art from 100 different artists, it was all my drawing, and they were all interacting with each other. Like some people are posing, some people are fighting over space, some people are dodging because somebody else is throwing a punch. Like it gets more chaotic as it goes back, and it gets more chaotic around groups of villains and stuff. And it was a fun challenge. And I got that thing done in like 3 days. Dragon Gaming says, I'll see what I can do in Hero Forge. Good on you, mate. We wish you safe travels. I love Hero Forge. It's a lot of fun to
It
play.
is.
Tommy says, as a possible storyline for Armored Heroes, I might make a parody based on the Showa versus Hensei films or the Rider Wars storyline from Decade plot-wise somewhat. I might also do something Gates inspired.
Geets?
Yes.
Yeah, Geets. So Common Rider Geets it's basically the weirdest way to describe it is Common Rider, but Fortnite. It's like
The weirdest way to describe it is
that too. But it's like
but the second
weirdest thing, it's Common Rider, but as Fortnite. It's like you're basically kind of challenged to like a lot of people play into this. Whoever wins gets like this ultimate wish. I kind of got the general idea of it, but it's like along the way you fight, these monsters and these fields and whatnot, but you're also fighting other people that can transform and whatnot. And it's like, okay, that's pretty cool, but also it's a lot. Japan and their storytelling methods are insane. That I will say.
Oh, Mr. Nope says, I love that collage you did with all the older cartoon characters. Love it when it pops up on my computer background. That's awesome, man. That was a lot of fun. It was a big collage I did for one of the Mighty Caw Kickstarters. And I just live streamed for a few days and had people yell out like their favorite heroes because I was doing like a hero collage.
Okay.
And so we got like Knight Rider on there. We got Mr. T driving speed buggy. The Mystery Machine is going. Grape Ape is on there. Freaking. Oh, man. There's My Little Pony, Care Bears, Ninja Turtles in their van. There's Transformers, Inspector Gadget. Oh my God, his name escapes me now. Ultraman is in the background. Voltron is in the background. Godzilla, like He-Man, Man at Arms, just everything we could throw in there. Snake Eyes is riding shotgun with the Ninja Turtles. The real Ghostbusters are in there. Like everything we could think of is thrown in there.
Okay, I think I'm gonna probably cap it off at this because I feel like this is as good as I'm gonna get.
Okay, this is not working from the way it was. Let's see.
So there is my robotic
Okay.
cat armadillo creature here that can use telepathy, hence the thing on its forehead there. It's a lot of characters and colors. Probably custom orders. Maybe. Who knows? Ah, don't dare fall on me. You stay on the dice tower. That's where you are. Whew. Yeah, so this was an interesting one. It looks like a weird, you know what it reminds me of, like a snow leopard almost. I don't know why I'm thinking like snow leopard because that's what this is giving me. But I tried. I did what I could.
Let's see.
But at least it kind of like properly adds on to the rest of what's it called? To the rest of this entire sci-fi saga. So now we have another android and another android. Oh, hello.
Hello. Hi, fiance.
Hey, fiance.
What's going on?
Very weird. Do you smell like something's on fire?
Did you check the stove top?
Yes.
All off?
Yes.
Okay. Then I have legitimately no. It could be outside. Could it be outside?
It could be.
Because we got weird neighbors.
Yeah. Anyway, have fun.
Okay. Not at all concerning.
Hopefully it's outside.
Not at all concerning.
Nah.
I'm working on a Reddit
I'm crazy if
alien
it
that
were.
y'all made in season 1, but I forgot his name. A reddish purple alien. Wait. Talk about Shelbyville over here. If my stuff will show.
Show stuff, show.
Come on. Am I going crazy? Potentially. Let's not theorize things. Coming to life now. I believe it was Shelbyville because that's the only like reddish, pinkish alien that I've drawn on this show. Unless, hold on a second. I did have a red alien that I did as a cosmic thing. What is going on with my feed here? Okay, hold on. Now it's showing. Yeah, so I did this guy. Scarlex, it was his name. He was supposed to be like some cosmic being and whatnot. Not necessarily the biggest fan of this because, again, I didn't really know how to emphasize the cosmic power aspect of him and whatnot. I literally would have gone the Silver Surfer route. Yeah, I couldn't tell if it was this one you're talking about or if it was this one over here that I call Shelbyville, who's like, you know, this four-armed pink alien girl who stumbles upon a steampunk Earth and is trying to, you know, save the planet from her own people that conquers worlds. Again, I think I might need to create a list, and the list should have like the steampunk world, the cyberpunk world, and then like the primal empire world that we were kind of creating, or at least that I did on episode 1 of the show, because that would be a lot of fun. All right, the one with the tattoo was in the gang. Yes, that's correct. The red one that had the tattoo was like gang affiliated until he eventually got like power cosmic, can alter his body. He can breathe in space or kind of like hold his breath for a very elongated span of time. Also, why is Mr. E under the name Mr. Fish? Because technical difficulty said, no, you're not allowed to have your name.
Because he dropped out and had to come back in, and I was the last one that signed it in and put my name in, so it came up with my name. That's why sometimes I'll have Uncle E on mine because he got in before me and I didn't pay attention when I logged in, and now I have a different name.
So you're saying, okay. So Doggone is saying this one over here, apparently. Working on that Reddit. Well, let's see what you're trying to do with this. Unless you're trying to make like an homage piece, then that's honestly pretty sick. But actually, I kind of did make like a season 1 poster of Roll for Hero. I did it. Where's you at? You are right over here. It's all right over here. All the season 1 characters, ranging from, Ivan the Invulnerable. We have the American Eagle, when I did it as a Batman Beyond meets, Jetman. And we have, Side Beast, which is the first character that I've ever done in general when I started Roll for Hero. We have Oak Fang from the Primal Empire. We have Pigeon Forge from that one episode that we collaborated with Ethan over at Obsidian Crown. We have Red Paw when we drew up the cougar-themed villain, which so many jokes that day. That was a lot of fun. Of course, the Halloween edition where we did, 2 the classic movie monsters and just merged them together. And yeah, kind of great at that. Imagine the Red Alien was a side character being a member of the Cosmic Coalition. Better yet, what if he was a side character? Now, I like your thinking. I do. Now, what if Scarlex wasn't necessarily a member of the Cosmic Coalition? Maybe he had no affiliation. Again, this is an expansive world with tons of alien life and whatnot. And there could be people that could be, interacting with the Cosmic Coalition, the Dark Matter Coalition. But then there are those that don't even interact with them at all, period. The end. And that's where I think Scarlex is kind of at, where he has like his own sector of space that he has to deal with, and he has to deal with it alone. And, maybe he's the only one that can kind of take on such a topic. Could he cross over with Jupiter Jack, Meteor Mandy, or Blizzard Wasp? Who knows? But at the moment, he has his own deal, his own situation that he has to be taken care of. So, I mean, it is what it is there. Not against the idea. Got a question for, got any suggestions for a name for a cosmic-powered human insectoid hybrid? This is a really good question. But, cosmic-powered human insectoid.
What kind of insect are we talking?
Because I also would have copped out and said like something with a hive in it, because like we can kind of go from there. Let's see. Though I'm still in the planning stage for character personalities at the moment, concept-wise. Oh, hello. Where'd you come from? Insecticide.
That's a good name.
Honestly, just take like the name or brand of like honestly, take a killer, like bug killer sprays, and then just use that as the ironic name of your character, like Raid. Just go from there. Beetle-like insecticide. Okay, well then, if you're gonna go with like say something with a beetle, you can go something with like stag beetles. You can go with scarab.
Hi.
Yeah. What was it?
I can't tell if it's just me with the smell.
Okay, I will be right.
Quick.
I will be right
Sorry,
back because we got some.
We'll be right here.
What's going on?
Better safe than sorry. That's what I always say. Don't play around with the smoky smell. Somebody could have burned a candle too long and stunk the place up. Burned a hamburger. Or somebody could be burning the whole apartment complex down. Better safe than sorry. That's what Fish always says. Nobody listens. What about something Beetleborgs inspired? Because that would be pretty goated. Oh, yeah. That would be cool. That would be cooler than cool. I was not a big fan of Power Rangers when it came out, just because I wasn't the right age for it when it came out. But I did kind of like Beetleborgs because like they were in on the joke. Like Power Rangers was goofy, but played it like it was real. Beetleborgs, like they knew it was silly, and they that was fine. They let it be silly and steered into the silly, and I always liked that. Herculean for the Hercules beetle. That's not bad.
All right, about that, everybody. I'm back. Oh, sorry about that. Anyways. Oh.
Now we've convinced fiance it's all in her head.
Honestly, I think it might be. But then again, I could be very much wrong, and I'm just probably yes, hon.
Sorry, is it vacuum?
Yes, right.
Thank you.
There you go. Best investment in that whole thing there. Anyways, your alien concept is giving me Ben 10 vibes, which is awesome. Not gonna lie, Ben 10 is goated. This is very true. 100% true. Totally reminds me of a concept I had a long time ago. Actually, I remember Mr. Fish actually recently posted those clips on his account where I was talking about the concept of what was it? Of speed dial. I would love to see what I can do with that. Has some other ideas for it, but I think I don't know how I would even go about it. I don't know if I should do like an interdimensional phone or maybe like the proper dial, but just make it its own thing. Who knows?
Well, if you just do the dial, then you're really brushing up on
copyright.
Dial H for hero.
Hence why I decided.
So I would be careful there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that. Who was that? Marvel or DC?
It was
now,
DC.
I can't remember.
DC did it because a lot of people started accusing Man of Actions. Like, you guys know that this was a thing, and they're like, weirdly enough, we did not know. But I just randomly just came up with the idea. Now, if I had to go at the speed dial concept again, I would go with the idea that there are specific phones that can allow you specific transformations. So they all wouldn't look like standard iPhones. I feel like that's going to not be as fun. And I don't think, like, if you're going to make a series called Speed Dial, I want the phones to look super, like, unique and very intricate. Like, I like the idea that there could be the alien phone where maybe that there's one person out there who can turn into specifically aliens through their speed dial phone. And then you actually have one that's like more mythically based, and they transform into like these weird mythically, human, monster hybrids, like they're a dragon person or a manticore or like a unicorn or something like that. And then you have, the proper superhero one, and it always looks like a guy in tights, but it's like a different power or something like that, which could actually incorporate my childhood way of drawing superheroes. Well, Ben 10 was supposed to be an X-Men. I don't know about that, but if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. Ben 10 was supposed to.
I mean, Ben 10 was very clearly Dial H for hero, but not. Like, I mean, like he was supposed to turn into superheroes originally, but then Aliens was, cooler and easier to explain and whatnot. But, I mean, it's Dial H for hero, but that's fine. They took it and did something new with it. And, everything is inspired from something. We take all the stuff that we love and mix it together and come up with something new and cool.
Ooh, Jordan tossed a pretty fun idea for the speed dial thing I was just talking about. It's like, what if the speed dial idea of the phones look like flip phones? Maybe the phone is a gauntlet and be like a flip. Oh, so they're basically like little, like for instance, one could look like a burger phone or something like that, and it would actually still do like the flip phone action part where it opens up like a phone. That would be pretty funny. And I feel like there would be specific phones that would have that kind of category. Like, I think it would be really interesting that the hero phone, like one that would turn you to proper superheroes, would actually look like a cape or something like that. So that when you kind of flip it open, it has the shape of a cape. Maybe the one that looks like an alien is kind of like a flying saucer. That could be a really fun idea to really dive into the different phone shapes and to kind of really see how those could work out. That I'm never against. I would love to I would love to work on speed dial if I, could have a more definitive, like surefire, like, okay, I know how to go from there. Again, it's all conceptual. Had a concept where it is a task force associated with a military who hunt down and fight aliens. There would be some horror elements in general. So basically, it's kind of like Men in Black, but I think you're going to have a more combative element because that's basically what Men in Black is. They just kind of hunt aliens, but then also they work with them to an extent, so that's always a little different. But I like the idea. I'd like to see where that goes. Like it would also be superhero related. Okay, so it's kind of like if you know what, it's like the X-Files, but if they actually dealt with it like in the DC universe in a way where it's like, imagine in the X-Files they were dealing with a Kryptonian threat, but in reality it's like not really Kryptonian. Maybe it's something like with, again, you're kind of seeing the cosmic horror side of the fun fantasy whimsy of the sci-fi kind of thing. Imagine if a phone.
That would be neat though. Like I would be interested in seeing a show on how do they take care, how did they deal with Kryptonian incursions back in the day. That would be neat. You know,
That
like
would be.
like dealing with a cryptid or a Men in Black type thing, but they're dealing with like species that we know. That would be real. That is a story I would be willing to work at DC to do.
And he's gonna make totally new characters for, or like at least have like Jimmy Olsen be the photo or the photographer, and then just kind of tell it like as if it was a bit of a horror story, or again X-Files style would be really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see how you do Scarlex. I guess try to post it on my community tab because I believe I have mine open now. I don't know why I didn't have mine open beforehand, so that's very foolish of me.
Because it didn't love you, that's why.
Anyways, yeah, like if I had the concept of people with mutant powers with horror elements attacking people with and the task force was called to hunt them down. Okay, not bad, not bad. Would be interesting to see the aliens. I may wait. I'll read that again. Madam said, would be interesting to see if the aliens I made. I feel like you wrote that in a way where I feel like I know what you're saying. Probably not reading that correctly because of my horrible ability to read. And again, I'm trying to make comic books for a living. Make that make sense. All right. What if phones summon a superhero for a certain period of time? Not a bad idea. Again, that's if we really dove into the concept a bit further with it. But I mean, to summon a hero would be pretty cool. I also had another Ben 10-esque idea. So instead of it being like a phone dial, or instead of it being like, you know, based off of a watch, I actually would have came up with like I call it surprise, right? And it was like a gotcha type thing. So you basically, there's like this magical gachapon machine, and you essentially turn the little dial, you get yourself a little gachapon. Thing is, it has like the little like hero inside, and when you slam it down to the ground, you would transform into the hero that was in the gachapon. So then you can imagine a bunch of kids would try to collect a bunch of them, maybe even trade them, maybe even steal some particular kind of superhero ideas and stuff. So then that way it's like, oh, look at me. I have all of these gachapons. I could turn into all of these kinds of superheroes at will or whatever. And I can see that, you know, that's one idea that I had that I would really like to do at some point. Again, that would be really interesting. I don't know if the speed dial was a fun one. Surprise is still like basically that concept, but imagine like actual kids taking on that role. I tried to say, imagine if the aliens made in Roll for Hero Season 2 were made into alien hybrids. Oh, okay, that's, man, the thing is we're already trying to hybrid other alien, you know, other animals together. So it's like trying to create a hybrid of a hybrid of a hybrid. And that's, whew, that would be insane. And then Benjamin saying, imagine the speed dial called upon Jupiter Jack, Oak Fang, etc. That could be a fun call to like all the other, you know, like that could actually be a fun way to incorporate all the cool designs and stuff like that. Like, honestly, if Speed Dial, I feel like Speed Dial would be like the Roll for Hero series that we could work with. Like we create like, you know, fun adventures. All the villains that we create are actually like other people transforming into the villains. And then we have Maxwell Dialton, who basically uses his, you know, speed dial phone to transform all the characters.
Like randomly rolls into season 1, episode 4, and becomes that character, or season 3, episode 2, and that would be cool. That would be fun.
And then that way we can incorporate all the fun elements that we were able to, you know, put together through this entire series and really get to see how that all works out. That would be a fun comic to work on. If we did Speed Dial and he just transforms to all the heroes and villains that we basically just drew up in the entirety of Roll for Hero.
Or I'm kind of thinking like a Bill and Ted / Doctor Who like phone booth that he goes into and he dials and it takes him to like a different dimension or something, and then he ends up like in a team up with that character or something. But
Oh, wait.
I know you got
Crazy
your own
idea.
idea for
Okay, if
that.
we were to go off of that, he ends up going into this little telephone booth as a joke, and now he's teleported himself across so many different dimensions, and his journey is that he has to try to get back home. And on his adventures, he hops through different dimensions. He either teams up with a bunch of heroes, a bunch of villains, and his telephone booth is like the only thing that kind of allows him to, traverse through all these things. That could be fun. That would be a lot of fun to work with. Imagine if there was a Speed Dial was a zombie apocalypse universe. I mean, zombie apocalypse universes are always crazy as it is. But it's more like trying to take something, like, again, Marvel was really cool with Marvel Zombies. But imagine if you were to like take Ben 10 and put him in a zombie apocalypse. He would survive that without a shadow of a doubt. Probably even cure the zombies within like maybe a month or so if he was stuck in gray matter's form.
Yeah.
Well, how are you feeling about your design there, Mr. Fish?
I like it. I mean, my only problem is it doesn't obviously read robot, but I rolled up invertebrate as well, which led me to thinking of a robot that would be bioengineered from some other species that uses biotech instead of like metal and circuits and whatnot to build things. So that's where I'm going from. So I don't know. I might have. I don't know how to make it read artificial, but yet read invertebrate and stuff too. I like the design of it, and my idea is that these are all like sensors and lights and stuff at the top, and then all the little like berries on his limbs are on his tendrils are like different light emitting organs, and he can shift those to change his colors and stuff to like disappear and blend in to the backgrounds, or to cause like chromatic effects that would like hypnotize you, put you into a trance or something for a moment, stun you with the display of colors like cuttlefish and stuff will do to stun their prey before they attack them. And then I figured for the intangibility, that would be the major transformation. That would be where he's got to build up like a lot of energy and then go intangible. But that's a big transformation. So when he goes intangible, he's going to be intangible for like X amount of time. Like I can chart like however long he charges it up for will be how long he stays there. But you can't like go intangible, go through a wall, and then like turn tangible again. Like vision goes back and forth like it's nothing. For this dude, it's like, we've got to gas up the car and crank it by hand and get it running. And it's not dying until it runs out of gas. So if you put in too much gas, you intangible for a while. And I think that's a neat limitation and a cool power. But I don't know that it reads artificial yet. And I don't know how to add in something. I thought about putting a circuit pattern on the skin or something,
think that
but
would
that's
probably sell the artificial, or at least like the technological aspect of that, concept a little bit more. Mine just looks like a weird snow leopard, weirdly enough. I think the colors worked well for that in a way. I tried incorporating like a catfish design with the actual cat, and then tried to do the armadillo thing. I think the armadillo part came across quite okay. And I like the idea that with this design, and again, I tried also incorporating the fish tail at the end of it too. So I like to think that I try to incorporate the robot part. I think is what threw both of us off for these designs, because I feel like if you were to do I feel like also,
if I was just doing a regular robot,
and I think that was also the part too. We also drew up, or we rolled up like, oh, what if we did animal features for kicks and giggles? And the thing is, we always do that. We always roll up all the animal features every single time, and we execute using these animal features every single time. Not that they're bad, But I also kind of realized it too. I'm like, oh, right, kind of figured, because I mean, I used a catfish, cat, and an armadillo. When in reality, the whole point of this character is that he has telekinesis and is a robot. So I could have designed literally just a generic robot that could have had like a crystal implanted in its head. But I wanted to take it a step further and giving it that animalistic tendency. And the same thing with you. You want to kind of give it its own, visual aesthetic, which is nice. Plus, I mean, again, this could always, and again, from the way that I'm at least looking at mine, this looks like a potential action figure that could be put right alongside with, what's it called? Blizzard Wasp over here. Just kind of being like, oh no, Blizzard Wasp is under attack by, I got nothing yet. Saw Blade. We can go Saw Blade there, but I don't know. It's pending name.
I totally forgot I was doing a villain too. I was just doing a character. I completely forgot it's supposed to be villainous, and he doesn't look villainous. I think I need to change his color scheme for sure.
Probably doing something maybe more like fire. So, and if anything, it's now obviously you could say that with the color tone that you put, you could make it like, you never would have expected this to be a villain to kind of begin with, which could subvert expectations depending on how you would write that out. Or you can give it the ability to shape, or to not shape shift, but to like shift its colors depending on a like maybe,
which is the power that's the minor power that it got. So, so a color shift isn't hard. I'm wondering about maybe it's supposed to be invertebrate, but I'm wondering about maybe adding some like metal tentacles in among the biological looking ones, or like some wire like tendrils coming out or something.
The wire tendrils. Okay. The wire tendrils, I really do like the idea. I feel like adding the circuit board skin, some wire tendrils, and then probably putting in like some microchips here and there. Again, that's just my opinion. You didn't ask for it, but that like I said, that's just me. Dragon Gaming says, what if Scarlix and Jack were rival heroes? Jack thinks he's a real hero in the Cosmic Coalition, but Scarlix believes he's the real hero without being leashed. Both are doing good in their own way. We can always tap into fun little ideas like those. Maybe Mr. E's character is called.
Thinks the other's misguided. That could be cool.
Oh, yeah. And then
jellyfish are villainous, says Mr. No. I agree.
Yeah, especially because some of them would be poisonous and kind of attacking you right there.
Bad.
Maybe Mr. E's character is called Iron Mind. Not a bad idea. I mean, he does have telekinesis, and it is like a limited time thing. So, I mean, he's like a good like recall, like having to take that kind of intelligence depending on the world that he's at. That could be really interesting.
See you later, doggone. Okay, I have a question for you. If you were to redesign it, just focused around the powers and stuff that you got, what would you do different?
Definitely would have done something. Okay, well, for one, I have to make it look villainous, so I would have used triangular shapes. I would have definitely made it, since you mentioned like the power crystal and whatnot, having it on its head, I would make it some kind of a jagged, like either fiery colored crystal, maybe even make it an opposite colored. I would have the character be very very triangular in shape. To show off like the danger aspect of this, of the design. Again, if I had to go for the toyetic vibe, in order for it to be like to kind of sell it as a toy and then be like, oh, Jupiter Jack fighting off, this kind of thing, I would try to make it look like it would be like a toyetic 80s. Again, kind of like how you tend to draw most of your characters. They look like they were about to be He-Man action figures. So I would try to play onto that idea. I would have done something not sleek, but a touch bulky, like maybe bigger forearms, bigger, like shins to the feet kind of a thing. Maybe. Again, it's still up in the air.
I'm curious what it would look like if we both took a swipe at each other's prompts and see what we got then. Because, what I'm thinking would be like taking your cute robot wasp dude from last time and altering that into essentially like a robot body designed to carry around a giant crystal, and that giant crystal is like the dude, like the giant crystal's like MODOK, like it's the energy source that's got to be powered up for it to use its telekinesis and stuff.
Mm.
And so everything is focused around this crystal, and as it like sucks power from things and sucks power from power lines and whatever, and powers this thing up, and then it can use its abilities like he's got the crystals in. I would just like from there up would be a crystal basically, and and everything is designed around that. Like I've got another character I designed. I don't know if I could find it quickly. That's basically like a giant potato in a man suit, and it's like a giant potato with all these eyes, and then like an old time diver suit sort of thing for the rest of his body that's just designed to carry this giant potato around.
Okay, so it's kind of similar to a MODOK. I see with the MODOK
Yeah.
aesthetic of it. Okay. Yeah, because also, again, we rolled up a lot of those animal features, and those animal features played a huge influence. Again, this was just supposed to be an android, but I was like, oh, I like the wasp feature of it. I think it was, yeah, it was an android. But then I decided to add the wasp aesthetic because I was like, I might as well roll it to see if it can give me inspiration. And then I took it to, this route over here, like Waspinator's, golden child cousin over here. So I really liked it. And again, the first attempt wasn't good. This one was actually a better one. But again, it had that
I like that one.
toyetic feel, and I would have kept up with that to an extent, depending. I had to research a lot of He-Man figures for that. But this one was actually not too bad. Again, I like the way this came out. If it wasn't a robot, I feel like this would have been a killer, like cool, savage,
like it looks like a savage beast to come barreling out of a heist or something and come barreling at you to have to fight off. Like it definitely seems like a threat. Mine doesn't feel so threatening.
But that's what probably could. Again, if it's, I feel like with yours, it's definitely something that you would have to write as yours definitely has.
Yeah, but then also like jellyfish don't look scary until you know how dangerous they are, and then those long flowing tendrils are terrifying.
Exactly.
But
again, so mine looks like I feel like this also would have probably came out of like a Thundercats episode more than anything else. But
yeah, it would fit really well.
So I really like the way this came out, but at the same time, I wish it wasn't a robot because then I would have just done a proper alien enemy and it would have just worked just fine. But yeah, that's more or less what I kind of got going on over here. But let's see what we got. Some other stuff here. But now considering taking Mr. E's roles today, make my own thing, mainly using the pufferfish idea from earlier. Honestly, if I had more of that, again, usually if these things tend to be 3 hours long, so if I had more longer time, I would have probably executed that pufferfish concept. Jordan says, what if the speed dial was an app that turns its user into a superhero? Then that means that there would have to be a select phone with a select, for someone to utilize that app. Or, that could be like an Iron Man or a, Reed Richards thing where they create the app and they can do that kind of a thing. Dragon Gamer says, I think it's going to go with Herculean. Go with a Herculean because of the video his father left behind. Described the alien beetle species and his father and his mother resembling Hercules beetles. Okay, that sounds very interesting. And then Mr. Fish looks derpy.
I'm gonna try not to take that personally. But I got to get out of here.
Yeah, because you got the 5-star to head out to
before I get back on and stream again on the 5-star feed available on YouTube and Facebook and everywhere you find podcasts are sold.
Well, this was a very unique episode, so maybe next time when we decide to roll up another enemy or another character, we don't go with the animal concepts because I feel like that's gonna always steal the show. But outside of that, everyone, I know. Anyways, outside of that, thank you guys so much for joining us today on this amazing episode of Roll for Hero. If you guys have drawn a character for yourselves, make sure to utilize the hashtag Roll for Hero. That's going to be ROLL, the number 4, and HERO. We would love to see it so that way we can have it shown on here in the show to show off the amazing artworks that y'all have produced. Outside of that, though, it's been us, your 2 weird unks, and I believe that we are going to be more or less ending our fun session here. So to our nieces, nephews, and all the fellow weirdos in between, make sure to follow these 3 simple rules. Make sure to stay awesome, to stay weird, and of course to keep life to the easiest. Always remember that art inspires all, but you can inspire more. And always remember to stay ultra.
Roll for hero.
You know, and even if you were to have like a prompt of 10 different things, right? Like say if you had one prompt of like, oh, like here's 10 different personality traits, here's 10 different superpowers, here's 10 different drawbacks.
I like coming up with random list of powers and then just see what I come up with.
Imagine rolling just those things every single time. It's always going to vary. You know, the possibility of that happening is again like a 1 in 10 chance, but it's like it shows that there's an infinite
There's
possibility.
always something else cool right around the corner that we can come